Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first day of the Omega Strikers Amateur Series 14. And we have 6 teams ready to go, ready to find the top 4 to make it to the second day. And I'm joined here by P Flare. Hello, P Flare.
Hello, hello. How are you all doing? I am personally excited for this. Surprisingly, we're starting off, to me, fairly hot with Squeak and Squeakers going up against Force of Will. These two teams definitely have been grinding it out in like scrims practices. It's going to be. I'm personally very excited to see the fruits of their labors.
Yeah, of course. I think there's been a lot of changes in OSAS, right? Obviously, we're not
Yes.
streaming the weeklies, the qualifiers. I think a big thing is that Seraphim actually graduated last season, and they've been a staple. But guys, it's been, again, these are 6 hungry teams. They've improved a lot, right? So like,
Yes.
there might not be some of your favorite names. There might not be some of your high diamond household names. That's kind
I
of
mean,
funny as I
one.
say that, but
I mean,
we
one of
got
them
we
is
got Force
absolutely
of
my
Will.
favorite names. I'm not. I'm.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not biased.
Oh, all right.
Um.
Pick a side. Which side are you on?
Oh, Force of Will.
Force of Will. All right.
Um.
I'll
Larry's my girl.
Larry's your girl. All right, I got you.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna point.
I'll be Squeak and Squeakers fan. I don't know if
Cool. Cool.
Knowers know. I
We're
was
gonna keep it
in.
even. We're gonna keep it even out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, that's right. One and one. I got my favorite. You got my favorite. Let's
All
go.
right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hop the Frog. Yeah. But
Okay.
we're on clear on Test Chamber, and
Yeah.
starting Awakening was the Reptile Remedy and Cast Last. So how do you feel about that, B player?
I think those are like pretty astonishing awakenings just to like get off rip. Like Castellas, like you can see, Era already has that. Dubu already has that. And unsurprisingly, and everybody else going for that Reptile Remedy. There is no team I don't think that doesn't really want Reptile Remedy, and very few who don't want Castellas. So just having those two off rip, you can already see like damage is already starting to go out a little bit, and a lot of these skills that are going to be thrown about are going to be like just that much more lethal for the whole game, just because they have to worry about it for that much longer.
That makes sense to me. Yeah, Jewel Supreme obviously coming in with a good spot from Chicken Tendies. I mean, that was a really good placement from the enemy. Yeah, and one thing I do want to say is that Chicken Tendies, she did take Reptile Remedy, so her turret is going to be normal time for now, but we got to watch which team takes the other Stagger Awakenings, right? We have 2. We have Bulk Up and we have Peak Performance, so that's something to watch for.
No, you're right. Those are definitely going to be something to watch out for. Another thing that I personally am also watching out for is I'm seeing a lot of people here that could potentially use, like, I believe Stinger is still up for grabs. Nice response from Force of Will, I gotta say, for that one. Also, yes, again, Larry, good shot, good Crystal Thorns. But yeah, I do think the damage is also going to be like a big matter, simply because most of these people have Reptile Remedy, so they're going to want to kind of like mitigate that with this first upcoming draft as soon as possible.
Spring coming down dangerously close, but isn't taken off, so he gets to take an orb, he gets to get his energy up, and now he has a core flip. Real Otaku trying to get the core through to Jewel Supreme, but this time Contendies and Hop the Frog do come out ahead, and now they're looking for the lower barrier. Larry keeps pushing it past Contendies. It's got to be a little frustrating there, but core does rotate up, and Jewel Supreme, a terrible roll, unfortunately, and now Larry's up there with flip with Real Otaku. Wants to save it, though, wants to use that to seal the deal, but now she's rotating down, using the piercing shot. Jewel has to burn their core flip. Great rotation upwards, but unfortunately, this variant makes it so hard to get the core out.
Yeah, like for you can kind of see what they were going for there. They were trying to bait Jiggle Scream into kind of like held it for a little bit long, but they did manage to clean that.
Came from that power play. Larry was keeping it really tight on the midfield. Hop the Frog did get their own burst, though. So that is one thing they can look for. And Chicken Tendies has been really on point with his turrets. Real Otaku tanked the brunt of it. unfortunately, nothing to show, but Jiggle Spring does have to take that Strike Ward this time, and Real Taku pops the X Maximus, and this is a really scary push coming out from Larry. Gets it through, Real Taku is there now, and is going to redirect it through Jiggle Supreme. First set taken by Force of Will, and this might be really good depending on what awakenings that we see here. Jewel Spring coming out with the hot shot. I think Chicken Tendy's getting the explosive entrance might be really good. Gives Ivy that extra bit of ability as well as power. They can definitely strike back here, but Drifter opting to power up Real Taku here. You can see the size with that X Maximus already getting that first barrier, but it's going to be a little scary as the core slips through. This is the Obscura variant as well, so all the sides there are poison. You can see Larry just get chunked down just from standing in that pit with the Stinger. Looking really scary. Jiggle Spring Grit Roll saves that second barrier, but again, this is such a hard variant to get the core out unless you're coordinating it with your team. So keeping it stuck there. Larry is taking a lot of damage though. That explosive entrance, Aimi just cyber swiping on top. Just gotta watch for it constantly. Drifter is able to get to the right place at the right time constantly though, and Jiggle Spring great clears. But once again, the variant harming them. Real Taku standing in that Obscura for too long though. You gotta watch out there. He packs quite a punch, but not if Jiggle Spring. Oh, he was almost taken out. Real Taku uses the flip there, but somehow the core goes backwards. Great play from Jiggle Spring, holding strong. And now Chicken Tendies and Hop the Frog have a chance. Jiggle Spring rolls, the turret comes down. Real Taku face tanking it so that the core can get out. But now Hops the Frog is there. He is doing a 1v2 though. It's going to make it hard, but Chicken Tendies creating the power play opportunity here for Squeak and Squeakers. Split from Jiggle Supreme and confirmed by Hop the Frog, I guess, stunning Drifter, making sure the core goes in. And yeah, good plays. I think, like you said, Jiggle Spring has been doing a really good job of clearing 90s. I think that's the professional term, cranking 90s into the Obscura variant. And Real Taku had to, unfortunately, stand in there and take damage. And yeah, really had to get the power plays off. But now Real Taku's here, X Maximus up, using threatening with the damage, with the core flip potential, but surprisingly, not a lot of damage done. Hop the Frog escapes with most of his health, and that was a really threatening play, but didn't come, the lot didn't come of it from Force of Will now, and Chicken Tendies does have a core flip now to match Real Taku, but has to watch out when you're corner pressuring like that. Drifter doing a really great job of clearing, but Chicken Tendies just walking up, using the core flip. Just great opportunities all around. Jiggle Spring locks that down with the Filthy Fortress, and Chicken Tendies finds the angle onto Larry, and that's going to be the goal from Hop the Frog. I really enjoyed the patience that Real Taku showed there. Did use the flip, but you know, a flip for a goal, it's pretty worth it right there. And Chicken Tendy's yeah, trying to cross the midfield now, trying to get the mags up. Oh, this variant's so volatile. You can see the barrier just getting taken from both sides. Nobody won out on that exchange. Real Taku doing some damage on Chicken Tendies, but the action has already moved because of these boom boxes. The first team to get both barriers is Squeak and Squeakers now, and this could be their set. Jiggle Supreme has a core flip as well. He can use that to get it around Real Taku, and there's the stun from the shotgun. And wow, such coordination right there. You can just see Hop the Frog didn't care about hitting the core. He knew his mission was to stun Mole Drifter. Yeah, Dubu getting size is also kind of nice. We see Real Taku matching it, and inner focus coming down onto the Drakkar. Hop the Frog is going to be really scary if he can get these stacks up. Yeah, Hop the Frog, like I said, that was his mission to not touch the core and touch Mole Drifter instead. But he needs a little more levels on him if he wants to get his inner focus up to a substantial level. And Real Taku being denied the quick strikes from Chicken Tendies. We'll see if that works out for her, because quick strikes, that's a negative there on your energy per strike if you take it, unfortunately. So we have to see if that dribble matches up. But right now it's all Real Taku as the X Maximus comes in. Larry there with the piercing shot, and the corner offense is brutal, but they do get it out. Once again, the lock comes out, and a great upwards clear from Jiggle Supreme. Hits it off the top of the goal net and back down to Chicken Tendies, and a great patience from Chicken Tendies and Jiggle Supreme. Great defense. Real Taku trying to get it around, but Chicken Tendies is there, and a nice upwards clear as well. But this obscure variant putting a lot of damage on Hop the Frog. Real Taku is there with the flip. He might just use it now, and there he goes, securing the goal.
But honestly, like, again, for just very good consistency, they had a few nice shots on goal. A lot of very good defending on the side of like Jiggle Supreme. So I mean that they always are making it tough, and they are not making this easy for Force of Will. So they have to be very. They also have to be very careful. Mole Drifter is playing up playing like very far up. It's been working out for him, but that can easily turn into disaster like in the blink of an eye.
Absolutely. Great glitch pop from Chicken Tendy, trying to keep the ball into the play. Great clear from Mole Drifter, though, getting it around. And now that Arrow Maelstrom coming out. Jiggle Supreme doesn't have cooldowns. And there we go, secured by Real Otaku.
Yep, very nice on their part. That one, they just managed to make sure Jiggle Supreme was not in a position where they could like respond, just stunned them and shot that one in. So that's two quick goals relatively for Force of Will. Definitely trying to see if they can wrap this set up faster than the other ones have been so far. There goes one goal, and you see there's already, yeah, that corner. The corner play has been pretty chaotic so far.
Yeah, Jiggle Supreme is feeling the heat. You can see he got control of the core and didn't quite know where to clear it to. So that's really good positioning on part of Force of Will to make sure that Jiggle can't clear it from his own side. He's even here. He's trying to burn his somersault. I'm not sure if he was lagging and he's feeling the heat, or if this is just like a lot of pressure from Force of Will. But right now it's really scary coming out from Squeak and Squeakers. This isn't one barrier. There's basically no barrier in this variant. Oh, Jiggle Supreme is definitely lagging, but it's okay. We got to do what we got to do. Mole Drifter burning the flip. Chicken Tendies is right there though, so the clear goes awry. And the side street little popsicle hits the core, and now nice turret coming out from Chicken Tendies. Casts the last Dudu coming out. Tofu Fortress creating the terrain. Hop the Frog almost got taken off. Mole Drifter great clear, and now the core goes back to the midfield, back to neutral. Larry is there with the Crystal Thorns, and Real Otaku coming up quickly, and core goes past Chicken Tendies. X Maximus popped, but a great roll, and Jiggle Supreme does a second time, still survives using the goal arc power. A great 90 cranked out right there, but the Arrow Maelstrom might prove so detrimental.
Wow.
Saved once again from the death door, and Hop the Frog coming in, trying to dribble, getting the angle, the shotgun slightly too short, and now Real Otaku's there. Jiggle Supreme secures and wins the strike war once again. I mean, this is a great play coming out from Squeak and Squeakers, and Larry does have core flip though, and she might burn it right here as Real Otaku stuns Jiggle Supreme and taken. I mean, that was a lot closer than the score indicates, but Force of Will coming out ahead is huge.
Yeah, that was very nice on there. Like that last flip shot just a little bit too slow. Like Jiggle Supreme had the read. Jiggle Supreme went for the I think one of the better options just with the Tofu Fortress was just a little bit too slow. That core speed can be an absolute killer. And with aerials on Estelle, that's gonna be very concerning, I feel.
Yeah, Ariel's Estelle is very scary. Jewel Spring taking that peak performance, and
Yeah.
even away from Real Otaku here is going to be really scary.
No, yeah.
But that does mean that Chicken Tendy's got stacks on stacks over Twin Drive. And I think that's a real show of confidence here from Aimee. A lot of lower elo Aimees just take, you know, the Dash Awakening and then focus on Dash Awakening. Twin Drive is great. Twin Drive is great.
Yeah.
But if you have that confidence that I dribble, I will live, I will get those stacks up. Stack on stacks is going to be really good, and I think that's what Chicken Tendies is saying with this pickup. But as you can see, she might be punished for her transgressions because Real Otaku is strong, and he also has Surge. And yeah, like you said, with Larry Aerials, that Crystal Thorns can seal the deal on a lot of damage plays that Force of Will might have.
Yeah.
But that
Oh,
aside, Hop the Frog, really good strike war, and they get both barriers. Yeah, 2-0.
Yeah, so far very nice on their part, and you know I fully agree that like the stacks on stacks, I think it's going to make a lot of difference with how Chicken Tendy's been playing. Chicken Tendy's has been playing like very well, very aggressively in a way, and I feel like that just being able to like have that consistent speed is definitely going to help him. But a bit of a misadventure in the attempted clear on that point ends up in favor of Squeak and Squeakers.
Yeah, the music variant, always so complicated to deal with. All three members of Squeak and Squeakers walking up, though, might not be too good for their chances. And this Obscura variant, I really feel like it should be Force of Will's variant, but right now, Squeak and Squeakers getting a lot of value out of Real Otaku's damage here. Hop the Frog, great rotate through, even uses the ult. Oh my gosh, just reads Moldrifter like a book here. You don't want to step too far there, though. Real Otaku has to use the flip. He felt forced to because he was so low. Turret coming down from Chicken Tendy, trying to send it up to Hop the Frog, but unfortunately, it's a bit scary now. Real Otaku walking up. I believe there is an X Maximus for if the core falls into his hands, but right now Chicken Tendy's trying to hold the midfield. Jiggle Supreme gets it cleared with Chicken Tendies. Now they're going to rotate it back down. Great rotations from Squeak and Squeakers, and now Hop the Frog is there taking a strike war against Moldrifter's Era, and now Castellas coming out, gets the kill onto Moldrifter, who had flip, by the way, so this is looking really scary. Chicken Tendy using the flip, wants to get it through Hop the Frog, and wins the strike war once again. I mean, Squeak and Squeakers get it done when it's important, when it matters.
Yeah, for sure. They are not letting Force of Will have this any kind of easily. Just some very nice, just raw perseverance at that point, and just very good on them just being able to like ID when they need to take these shots and when they can have these opportunities, when they can make them even. Just very good on their part. You see Force of Will definitely trying to answer back real fast though, saying no. Okay, that was cute. That was cute. We appreciate it. We like it, but no, we're not gonna like. They don't want them to get this next set. Obviously, they don't want to go to set 5. They trying to get this done. But
yeah. You want to end it when you can end it. You don't want to let it linger for too long. Yeah. Absolutely. And yeah, great read from Real Otaku. Jewel Supreme really patient, really calm, but that does mean that he tends to move backwards on the defense, and great bell ringer that finally lands, and Hop the Frog just with an angle, making sure that we get the clear, and oh, that was almost killed. Oh, the log doesn't work, the log disappears. Dubu, and now Chicken Tendies doesn't win the strike war, and Real Otaku suddenly here with the X Maximus, with the core flip. Chicken Tendies has to use her own elusive, but the core just goes to another side street, and now it's even scarier, and now X Maximus coming out, the core flip coming out, and there's the goal. One bad defense, and Force of Will just capitalized on it.
Yeah. Larry, that was Larry. That point would have been theirs if Larry hadn't saved that one, saved the day for that one. Again, shout out to her because she's been putting in that mad work. So good on them. But they've got to finish this one off. This could be set point, and Otaku going down like that isn't going to help things. That Fortress like locked them up. Say get in the box. So now they have to like hold this power play. They get like one barrier taken, trying to get another one. Chicken Tendies extra large right now for what was for a little bit. Wasn't able to get nothing done with that one though. So it is still on the side of Force of Will, and an attempted clear ends up own barriering by accident. So now they are behind the 8 ball, trying not to let this one go to a set 5. Center is busy, and both teams trying to like make sure consistent possession is theirs.
Yeah, Jiggle Supreme is the one to get big. I mean, I think they're 3 for 3 on the second win on the air variant, and now they're going to get a kill. Oh, a great kill coming out from Real Taku, and that might really clutch it out here for Force of Will if they win set 1. They really want to capitalize on power play. Jiggle Supreme just died in the middle of nowhere, and now it is looking painful because Drifter comes out first. Nubu is slow in getting back, except for Arrow. But Drifter, uses just enough speed to get back, and Chicken Tendy's coming out. He's trying to save it with the glitch pop. Jiggle Supreme doesn't walk up forward, and that's a great thing. That's very perfect. Great turret coming out. Hop the Frog just needs to get the core so that he can win a strike where Real Taku has core flip. Chicken Tendy needs to reach out, and now Real Taku gets the flip goal, and that's the first game of the night.
Nice! I'm sorry, that was crazy. Just the flip, the patience, the angle, like all three of them had to step in for that one, as you saw by the by the end screen. Beautiful, beautiful finale on their parts. Let's go, Force of Will.
Great game. I think if Force I think if Squeak and Squeakers don't make it through to the second day, this is that moment that's going to kind of live in the back of their heads as they go to sleep. Like, what if all three of us were living? And sometimes it's really hard to do that. Yeah, it's really hard. There was a lot of presence from the X despite not really getting a lot of kills. Real Taku got the goals when it mattered, got the strike force when it mattered. I think the person I'm really looking at here was Larry and Lyres. Most redirects in the lobby, really controlled the midfield here and made sure Real Otaku was enabled to get the goals.
Yeah, very nice setups. Drifter also, for the most part, like just some very solid defense, just being able to, and also being able to like support their team. Like they were unafraid to like run up to midfield and just be like a very frustrating presence with that bewitching beam. So good on them. I do want to say though, so far like good to Jiggle Supreme, good to Chicken Tendies. They in particular, those are on the other team who I was looking for, but those who I was looking at for sure. They were doing real solid there. So moving on, we still got plenty more games.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say that I know who is going to be playing next, but I might be lying. Let me see. Is it not Throwing Hard versus La Critura? I might be wrong. I don't want to be wrong, but I could be. But yeah, I think it was a good game. One thing I wanted to mention is really aggressive turret placement from Chicken Tendies on the Era variant, and it really worked out for them. It was really funny. You just saw her like place a turret right next to like the little orb thing, and and take it. And you got a big cat. But unfortunately, every time you got that big cat, it was really unfortunate. They couldn't like do much with it. Sometimes it was just unluckiness. Sometimes they believed too much in just shoving it through something that they couldn't. But it was I think I want to give props to Squeak and Squeakers, since I am biased right now. I think big props. I think they did their research in what they want to do on each of the maps in the Galarian Corp, and then they tried to execute it. So I think it was very good. It was again, it's a 1-3 set score, but it's a lot closer than I think it would imply. Yeah, so it was a really fun game, honestly. And again, I feel like a lot of names have been coming and going in OSAS, right? It always kind of does, right? For like 2-3 OSASs, we have the same teams kind of going to the finals, duking it out, like 2 graduate, 3 graduate, and then we see some other teams who were kind of eclipsed, and then they're coming. They improve, they get their time to improve, and they get their time to shine. And I think right now it's Force of Will and Squeak and Squeaker's time to shine. So super cool matches, and I'm really excited to see more tonight.
I agree. So we sure who we got next? Who's up next? We're gonna find out in due time.
Yeah, we gotta make up the time though. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a break first, I think.
Oh, we are? Okay.
No, we're good. We're good. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Don't worry.
All right, guys, welcome back, and it's time for a second game of the night. This time we have the first seed La Critura versus our fifth seed Throwing Hard or Hardly Throwing, and um, this is on Amy's app, and we got Tempo Swing and Stacks on Stacks. So we're gonna see if any team wants to brave the Rasmus hook into this game and keep their stacks up. They're going to see some tempo swing. But Rasmus is banned, so
Yeah.
it's all been a lie. But I think this is good because Striker Kuriyami on La Critura is a known Rasmus player, I believe. So they do want to give away that Rasmus and give him Drakkar. We see Throwing Hard or Hardly Throwing, Sandeity actually is a
Yeah.
known Juliet player. So they actually get the top
Something.
two brawler picks. Yeah, they got great picks here all around. So we're gonna go in. We
Yeah.
see 4 stacks on stacks and 2 tempo swings. And P Flare, how do you feel about these?
I'm actually liking both teams. Like I said, like San Deity, known Juliet player. I think that's gonna I know, Deity's gonna be looking for like some of them cheeky KOs, just drop people down the hole. But on the other hand, I've always really liked Striker Kiriyami, Doggy Toes, because I gotta call him Doggy Toes, dog. But yeah, definitely been looking forward. I'm looking forward to this one. I do think, like, in terms of just sheer ability, you have to imagine like La Critura is the favorites, but that's not to say that I think throwing hard, hardly throwing is, I don't think they don't have a chance by any means. I think I think they have something in the pipe that they could surprise us with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see La Cultura, they respect this team. They ban Grom
Yeah.
de Ponch's Denis over Sandia's Juliet. And you can see Grom de Ponch, they're saying, okay, Doggy Toes, you're a great Estelle player. Grom is gonna take it. And now
Ooh.
Sandiety takes advantage,
Oh,
does lose to Strike War against Doggy Toes, Doggy Toes, and they have to kind of, I don't want to say Doggy Toes, P-Flare, I'm sorry.
I know, no, I know. Yeah. But
Yeah,
no,
but
right now it is Striker Kiriyami saying you call me score.
that's right.
Shot, beautiful shot right there. Beautiful shot right there. Top corner takes, and it is La Critura that takes first blood. They are La Critura are the type to kind of like press their advantage hard. But as you can kind of like see with Slime Slinger, that's the thing. They are a very aggressive team, and I think that is going to be like a recurring element that throwing hard, hardly throwing THHT is going to have to definitely be careful of.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call them hardly throwing right now. If they lose more sets, we'll call them throwing hard. That's good. Okay, they're about to be throwing hard, but Striker Kuriyama does get the goal. I do want to ask though, how do you feel about the initial awakening setups? We see 4 stacks. I mean, usually if a speed awakening comes up, a lot of teams just take the speed to keep up with it. But on Amy's, we see Doggy Toes and Striker Kuriyami both took tempo swing here in favor of more damage / sustain.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm a touch surprised, but at the same time, I guess maybe they thought they were going to be like big targets, especially with like that Juliet and whatnot. Maybe they thought they were going to be shoved around a little bit more than they are. You can see that THHC has managed to like shake back a little bit, got a score on the board while we were yapping, but yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. Again, you see like that La Critura aggression just coming out, and like that's kind of their big game plan, just like swarm you ASAP before anything can like really be done about it.
Yeah, that was
And they took the set.
really scary one. Yeah, I mean, ZZ's getting taken off the map, but not enough time to feel the pain as the set does end and everyone's stacks reset anyway. But we do come up on the awakenings here, and we have bulk up. We have a lot of strong ones on the board. Extra special. I mean, what do you think here? What do you think each team should be taking?
They should be taking what they were taking. Like the 3 that I was genuinely looking at were bulk up, explosive interest, extra special. I feel like those could be very dangerous. I actually think built different was, yeah, I was about to say, I feel like built different is important because they're gonna have to figure out like how to square that circle between Amy and Juliet, because Juliet loves her some size too, and like it was gonna be 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So they decided it was just give her rampage and get a little bit less reliable size than just your flat 20%. for that
Yeah.
build that built different gets. And it's not like Aimee hates size either, but you can see that sometimes that it may not work out all well for her because big targets. That is she.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean,
Doggitos died.
like he just died
Came
twice.
came back to life, and then died again in like 3 seconds. That is brutal. And like again, we mentioned that earlier. Sand Deity like Juliet is can be very scary, and you can see why right there. Like very good at spotting opportunities and taking very quick advantage of it.
Yeah, CZs did take Monumentalist. Doesn't give the Blobos staying power, but it does give them some size, and that makes it a little harder to clear out of the Blobos. And now Striker Kurami coming in. Sand Deity almost gets a kill though, and has a core flip to threaten. Striker Kurami misses, and Ground to Punch wins the Strike War, trying to get around the ZZs. Unfortunately, not going to find their target here. Oh, gets it around. Ground to Punch, dangerous clear, but Kurami wasn't quite ready for it. Now we see a flipped up Juliet getting ready. ZZ's rotating down with the jump, gets the ult down, just trying to get it down, get up to Sand Deity. Doggy does respect that and gets it out. Slime Singer does use a flip though, and Sand Deity's right there. Now we have a flip Juliet right in front of the faces of the Dubu. Just gets it through. What a sequence from Sand Deity's Juliet. I mean, hardly throwing his back, and they're not even throwing this. This is just they're just playing good.
Yeah, that was a beautifully timed flip. Literally got the core over the Tofu Fortress and was just free shot from there on in. Nothing they could do about that one. So beautiful kill. Again, taking advantage of that aggression that I was talking about earlier. Sand Deity was like, okay, punching bag, cool. Thanks for the freeze. But you can see Striker Kuriyamane doing a very good job at trying to kill that power play ASAP. Not able to finish it off though. The blobs, ZZs, they are firing on all cylinders right now. Very quick answer back said, nah, this ain't gonna be like, we ain't for Yeats. Like, yes, we fifth seed, but that doesn't mean anything. So now it is Sand Deity taking MVP. It is TH, like Hardly Throwing, I should say, that have gotten a little bit in the driver's seat. And that prize fighter, without Sand Deity, has been rolling, is going to be nasty. Among Titans to juice everyone up. Ariel is, again, always good on Estelle. I am liking everything. I am actually liking everything that everybody has picked up, but just the momentum right now is on the side of Hardly Throwing. So it's going to be on La Creatura to roar back and see if they can answer this.
Suddenly this became a game of Raise or Juliet, like given the stacks, but it's not a good start to it, as throwing hard, unfortunately let's go in with the combined power of Doggy Toes and Striker Kuriyami. But I mean, that was a quick game. Slime Slayer got 2 stacks, and the Ground Punch got 4 stacks off of that set. But Sand Deity just needs to get his stacks up, needs to get that prize fighter up, and that's just kind of like a lottery in the back pocket of hard throwing.
Yeah, for sure.
Striker Kuriyami coming in, Crystal Thorns coming out. ZZ's great contest on the glitch pop. Sand Deity is getting, trying to get into position, but Ground Punch suddenly teleports into kill range, gets hit by Striker Kuriyami's shotgun. At the same time, gets pushed back after he teleports, and that's gonna make sure that Ground Punch dies.
That was a checkmate. That was a checkmate situation right there. Like literally boxed in on all sides, I feel.
Yeah, Ground Punch, unfortunately, a victim of the Omega Strikers app, but they gotta press forward. They gotta press forward. They gotta keep their mental up. They gotta keep raising Sand Deity, even if they are down 2 sets to 0. Is throwing hard, and ZZ's almost has a core flip, and that might be their saving grace. But the Among Titans making sure that she can't get her hands on the ball. This raising Sand Deity isn't working out just yet. Core flip is up though. Trying to think hard, trying to get through Striker Kuriyami. Sand Deity unfortunately misses, not misses, but doesn't get the dash punch kill. Ground Punch has to teleport back, and now 1-on-1, 2-on-1, and that's going to be enough. A quick 3-0 this time on set 3 for La Creatura. They were seed 1. They're trying to show why they're seed 1.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like this next one, like this last one was a shootout, and this next one is also going to be a shootout at this point in time. I just feel like with how both these teams have gone and the Awakenings, the game plan they've decided, like I don't think Hardly Throwing, I don't think they really have much option here but to kind of like sink everything, like sink a little more into like the just get Sandeity up, get Sandeity to be a beast, and let him kill. I feel like missile propulsion, prime time, definitely going to help. Demolitionist, again, size, always good. So they're going to have to respond back. I think this is just going to be like I think this is going to be a shootout, so to speak.
Yes, it's lots of kills are going to be coming in, and Sandeity is going to thrive if he's the one getting the kills. And great Blobbo coming down from ZZ's. I think it's really lucky that Sandeity can get that kill, and he gets that power play and gets it through to Dubu. The log comes in. Unfortunately, Slime Slinger's own Blobbos or own logs are betraying him, and Sandeity coming in still has a little bit left in the tank. Unfortunately, not going to happen. And Grom's too slow. The Cora redirection from Dogitos. This time, he comes back and is able to get his revenge.
Yep, no cooldowns seemed like for Grom, so had to just watch that one go in. But you kind of see like what's going on here, just like a lot of blood flying, barrier taken very quickly. ZZ's kind of tried to go for the clear, missed that. Shots going out everywhere. Sandeity does get the barrier, and it does get the kill. There we go. I was wondering if that was gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a 3-stack Julie, 160 power Sandeity with it, but oh, it's gonna die. Wait, but Grom gets it. Oh, double kill, but Grom makes it happen. The core flip, the saving grace.
Spend the cash.
Oh, spend the cash. Yeah.
No, no. At that point, they're like, no. Just spend it. Just.
You gotta use it. You gotta use it. I think that was well worth it, especially because Sandeity got his stacks reset. He was looking at 4-stack prize fighter. Now he's back down to 1. 3 stacks, my bad, I'm sorry. But ZZ is looking dangerously low. Has to even burn a jump. The Striker Courier just gonna shoot her down. You don't get enough energy for an evade. So that was bad. Now 2-1 lead, and things are gonna be looking really bad until they can stabilize again. All the stacks gone. Yes, no speed, no power. It's just looking so scary.
Striker just like unloaded the shells in her face. So this needs to be. Like they need to like answer back now. They've had some opportunities, I feel, but Slime Slinger has been very good on the defense, and again, just like that aggression has been too fast, too furious for them to really be able to do anything about it. There's another one again. I think this might be it. Trying to do everything they can to beat it back, not able to, have to try to elusive there, and just that was it. La Criatura. The beast, the creatures, the monsters. They take this one.
Yeah, I mean, they showed why they are the first seed, why they qualified week 1. And there's some cases, right? There's some cases in Osas where the first seed in the first week, they come in, they're like, we're so ready, and then they suddenly lose to a lower seed, later qualified team, because the later qualified team, practices hard, gets more stuff, but Striker Kuriyami and Dogito's really showing why their offense, why it's so crazy, like a beast. And yeah, they matched Sandeity punch for punch, even getting 6 KOs combined, and they really reset every time Throwing Harder or Hardly Throwing got into that Hardly Throwing range. They made it happen. Dogito's gets a kill, or Kuriyami gets a kill, and make sure that the wind is taken out of their sails. And well-deserved win.
Yeah, just very good on the whole from La Criatura. They were able to find answers very fast, respond very quickly. So, they move on. Hardly Throwing has some thinking to do, but we are also going to be moving on, I believe, to the next match. Are we? Nope. We are going into break. We are going into another break. We are going to be back with more action very soon. Hello again. Welcome back to Osas 14. And what we have now is Force of Will. And not just anybody, but we have Throwing Hard, Hardly Throwing. They just recently came off a, shall we say, a bit of a rough one, but this is their chance to shake back. Not saying that Force of Will hasn't had their difficulties either as of very recently. So this is going to be a very interesting match between these two teams.
Yeah, I think they want to. So on one hand, right, we have Force of Will. They want to make finals, but they want to make a higher seed
Yeah.
in the finals so that they can be in the upper bracket. Um, but and then you, on the other hand, right, you're seeing throwing harder, hardly throwing. They are fighting for their tournament life right now.
Yeah.
They need a win stat, or they're gonna be in the lower two, and they're not coming back next week. And it's been a long journey for the. It's been a long journey for them. It's been a long journey for every single one of these teams here. They want to make sure that they can go to day two. They want to make sure they can be in the bracket stage. So we'll see if both of these teams, because I think they're coming off of a fresh loss on the
Yes.
latest games, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they have taken from these losses and how they're adjusting. So I think they have a lot of potential. I think they have a lot of potential. It's up
Yeah.
to them to execute. So is this Inky Splashdown? Is this real? Is this a real map
Are
that they're
they?
gonna be playing?
I would be I would be surprised, but I would also be very intrigued by that matter. We will see very very soon. But I do want to say real quick that yes, both teams are definitely like fighting for something important, I would say. Yeah,
The
it's
top three
top
makes sense.
3. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
so no, just getting word from the booth, so to speak. Yeah, top 3 are the ones who all make it in. So it's still something that they're gonna want to like brawl for, fight for. It's still something they still want to climb the mountaintop. Let's not get that twisted. But I am in particular, as I was saying, interested in seeing what hardly throwing have learned from their recent loss to La Creatura. I am going to be completely real. Like, yes, I love Force of Will. I like this team. But I feel like having gone up against, like the Kings of the Mountain so early, I feel like that's going to give them, like, I feel like that would give them, like, a lot of not just perspective already, but just a bit of an understanding of, like, what they need to tune up and what they need to turn up.
What they tune up and what they turn. Yeah, yeah. No, I get it for sure. I think I think I can't really speak much of the players, unfortunately. I've only like scrimmed once with throwing harder, Harley throwing, and that was like years ago or a
Mm,
year ago. So I can't speak much of either of these teams' players themselves, but I will say, in terms of the character pool, right? In terms of character
mhm,
pool, I think it's going to be. I think throwing harder, Harley throwing have a little bit of an uphill battle because Sand Deity likes the Juliet, obviously, likes the Zentaro, and Muldrifter actually is pretty capable on the hold it down goalies. Like he has an Atlas, I believe he has a Dubu too.
mm,
I know he showed Era on the stream, but it's gonna be really hard for Sandiety to um, score alone, so to speak. He's gonna need
mm.
ZZ's backup, and you're gonna need to pass it around. They're gonna need to basically not try to just dash punch every chance they can get through to goalie. And it's gonna be a little hard to do it. And yeah, it is indeed Inky Splash Zone,
Okay.
with Deadeye and um not Monumental. What's that size thing start? But yeah,
That's
Demolitionist start.
demolitionist. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Uh,
say this I okay, never mind. That's the Estelle. That is almost 100% Larry. I was going to say, here's the thing. Larry can play Juliet. So if they wanted to be like extra jerk holes. They could have tried to snatch it from Sand Deity,
Double
but
brawler on Inky Splash Zone.
I mean, you go crazy. I mean, it's Inkies. Nothing that everything
Yeah, no, no,
nothing
no.
is true. Everything is permitted on Inkies.
Everything is,
But
you know, no, I can see it happen. I can
but
see it happen.
no. But yeah, no. Estelle, unsurprising. Uh, they quickly answered that though with yeah, Kazan,
Kai.
Kai, that's honestly that's just concerning on most maps in general. So unsurprising there. I'm not seeing anything like super out of the ordinary coming from the side of Force of Will either.
Yeah,
So
I think it's a pretty I think it's a pretty interesting. Like Grom getting his Finny banned, I think it makes a lot of sense. Finny is, I think, pretty good here on Inkies. And oh, so it might be a Kai goalie and Juno midfield. This might be a flex, but I was gonna say all three top tier characters, all four top tier characters we're seeing on Inkies, they're all out. Like the bans, I mean, Fini, it's not necessarily like an Inkies ban. It's more like we ban you got what you guys like.
yeah,
And Estelle is great on Inkies. Kai is great on Inkies. Kazan is great on Inkies. Every character is great here except for X. I think Real Taku might have a little bit of an uphill battle. But I do think it's worth noting that these players are capable, even if they get their one tricks banned, they're capable of busting out their second picks. And
yeah.
I think,
All of
yeah,
them have secondaries. I will admit, I am kind of surprised at the X pick as well. I was legitimately thinking Real Otaku might go for Asher if anybody.
I mean, you said everything's permitted on Inkies. What are the
True.
odds that Muldriffer's playing the ex goalie and, and the real Taku's playing the Rasmus? Um, no, that would be too wild even for
Ye-
Osas Inkies, I think. But
mm,
yeah, I think like one thing I want to say, like if you ban out these one tricks, it lets the other players get their one tricks, right? Like ZZ's is, I think, very known for her Julie. She's been her Juno. She's been getting to Juno. Like Sandiety
yeah.
last game, Grom's got his mini ban. Sandy was able to get their Juno, their Julie, and so like we're gonna have to see
Mhm.
the meta picks get piloted. We're gonna see these meta picks get unleashed and see how they get piloted per player.
Yeah, for sure. Like we have we've seen Lyra on the Estelle. We've seen that she can absolutely make some amazing plays, and despite that, though, I would say like the ones I am most interested in, and you kind of like touched on this a little bit, is the aside from the X, like I would say the Rasmus in terms of like for everybody, Rasmus is going to be I'm curious to see how they manage just because you can score very fast on Inkies with Rasmus. I have seen some lightning fast goals, lightning fast barriers taken
Well,
with this crazy nerd.
yeah, but I think Voldrifter is Rasmus, right? So Voldrifter needs to step up all the way to the goal to goal scoring range zone first, I think. But I
Moltrichter
think
has been going up to the midfield a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, but he
So it's
he is very aggressive, so it is doable. But we'll have to watch out because this isn't clear on Corp. You gotta really
nope.
watch out for this cross clears here. But
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But yep,
absolutely,
you are right in that. Yep, Rasmus Scully is still an X, uh, leading the charge, so to speak. And as for who is going to like take what on in terms of like awakenings, I don't expect anything like too out the ordinary for there.
mhm.
I expect a honestly a decent mix between like Demolitionist Deadeye.
Yeah. Melee's probably take the Demolitionist, right?
Yeah,
And we probably see Juno Kai take Deadeye, Juno Kai Estelle.
yeah,
And it's gonna be, yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty no holds bar type game, right? We're gonna see Rasmus and Kazan, like the two main brawlers who thrive on size. They're gonna get a size awakening right off the bat. So
yeah.
we'll see how these characters pan out.
Okay. So yep, Lyra and ZZ's both taking Deadeye. Everybody else taking Demolitionist. I kind of am surprised. I don't know. No, that makes sense. Let's just get this started on this bit of a wild and wacky map here.
Absolutely, yeah. So we got to watch out for the aqua cannons once the barrier goes down. And Inkies is notorious for getting their barriers lost quick. But Larry does try to bait out the barrage, and Grom does use the barrage, but unfortunately for Larry, it wasn't in the direction I think that she wanted it to happen. But now she does have the Rose Warp right in time, uses it to get the barrier, and now Aqua Cannon coming up, Moldrifter getting ready for the angle. Just tries to rotate down now, though. Real Talk coming in with the Bell Ringer and the Bull Rush. Grom dodges with the eject button. I mean, what sauce coming out? But the now Aqua Cannon activated, and Deity goes out. ZZ is a little bit slow unless she gets her hands on that core because of slick kicks. And now just rotating it through, Real Taku loses the strike core to Grom the punch, barrages it through. ZZ's trying to cover some pass angle, but unfortunately not in position. And Grom has to use their own core flip for that now. Trying to keep up in time. ZZ's trying to get her hands on the core, not quite there, not yet. Real Taku rotating it through with the Bell Ringer, but Grom saves it again with the primary and again with the strike. And ZZ's trying to get there in time, and not making it, but Grom is making some crazy moves. And now Sandiety, unfortunately, not connecting with the barrier quite yet, but Larry is trying to get it around. ZZ does get it around, and Grom too slow this time to save it. And what a point from first point.
First point, that one was a little bit wild. That one was a little bit wacky. I feel like there was a couple of times where Force of Will was definitely trying to end the point a little bit earlier, and just like a little bit of miscommunication, a little bit of the shakes, so to speak. So definitely gonna have to clean that up. That is a very good start. Very nice first quick. Flip goes out, does get stuck though. That barrage is dangerous, and yeah, Real Talk just kind of like punched that one in. So yeah, very nice cleanup on their part. Very much what they needed. Already set point for Force of Will.
It's looking a little scary here for throwing hard or Harley throwing, but ZZ's just needs to get her hands on the slick kicks, just needs to get that slick kicks activated. Unfortunately, a nice Blobbo there to cut the pass, and Sandiety's there with his on hook, does miss though, and the Blobbo's come down, and this is going to be a really difficult clear, but they do still make it, and Grom does get the clear, but Real Taku and Larry both looking really low, and they have a lot of damage. Larry is cracked without evade. Grom just wins the strike force again, and oh my goodness, just a lot of work being done. ZZ puts some damage on Larry, does rotate back to the ortho, and Real Taku gets the core flip, but once again, the volatility, and it's not quite open yet. The Bell Ringer misses, sets it up for a bad angle, and Sandiety rescues the core from the Jet of Doom, and now it's up to Moldrifter, who unfortunately whiplashes it in backwards, and that's some life from hardly throwing, but also that was still a rough game in game actually, even though they got the point.
Yeah, that was kind of like a that was a bit of a wild one, let's say. But again, that's kind of like what you kind of expect with Inkies. Barrier first goes down, trying to knock that one in. Easy in. Wow, Real Otaku just knocks it in, top corner. Grom just not able to quite get it, and a rather unceremonious end to the first set, although certainly one that Force of Will is more than happy with.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We see Hotshot on the table, and I don't think Juno's getting that. I think immediately, yeah. I think Estelle might just take it over Aerials. Yep. Yeah, but this does mean Kai gets Aerials, and this is how Hotshot kind of works the in-game. We see Real Otaku take the glass cannon away, but team player on ZZ is really nice, but Rasmus does get more size, and now Sandiety just kind of left with tempo swing, which isn't bad by any means, but I don't think that's exactly the way they wanted the draft to go here.
No, I would also agree. Force of Will got the better of that draft in this one. Almost gets barrier off the opening kickoff, but no dice there. We will see if Harley throwing can manage to make liars out of us, but so far not quite. Barrier open, and Larry and Real Otaku just punches through the goal. Punches him through the goal, so for the first point.
Yeah, this is a really rough situation for throwing hard or hardly throwing. I think ZZ is really feeling the nerves here. I think the fact that she took slicks on an open map and can't get her hands on the rules, just the levels really show how helpless that the midfielder can feel in these kinds of situations. And now that Real Otaku has so much size on her, it's going to be really, really rough for this Juno to get back online. The Blobos come down, but immediately just tanked and gone. And Moldrifter taking size is huge because Rasmus is one of the most size-reliant characters in the roster. And it's going to be really hard to win against Rasmus with size as opposed to one without. Grom the punch, break clear, rotates around to the corner. Real Taku just keeps it in. Lowry was waiting for a cross clear, but Grom making sure that the corner clear is the only thing that you can see. Lowry double defense with Wolfdrifter, amazing, and with the flip, he's going to kill Grom and gets it through.
Yeah, this one is looking bit of a rough road. There's starting to become a notable level gap between Force of Will and Throwing Hard. Like, you can see ZZ's still stuck on level 2. Sand Deity as well. Grom's the only one level 4, and everybody on Force of Will, like, well, no, Moldrifter is not quite there yet, but another score just cannon feeds down to Real Otaku. Real Otaku just knocks it in. 3 up, 3 down, practically. X MVP, and we are going into what is quite possibly the final set with some scary awakenings.
Yeah, heavy impacts online, inner focus if they're not gonna die. I mean, Twin Drive, Super Searcher, they're all so good right now. I think Stacks is really nice. They didn't think Real Taku would be the one to take it though, but it is really interesting. And now Grom immediately takes the Twin Drive. ZZ's takes some Long Titans once again, trying to power up Sand Deity, and it's not the worst decision, honestly. Sand Deity does need size to get back, but also ZZ's has been kind of getting swarmed in the midfield, and she might really want some size to combat that, but unfortunately, that's how the draft works.
Yeah, Larry in particular getting heavy impact. Larry friggin' loves heavy impact, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me.
Estelle loves heavy impact.
Yeah, Estelle loves. I'm saying, yeah, Estelle loves heavy impact. I'm saying Larry loves heavy impact. Trust me. So I know she's more than happy with that. But no, in all sincerity, this draft definitely looking like it went the way of Force of Will. Very, very concerning, and they are already like showing it. ZZ's looking a little bit worse for wear already, trying to feed it up to Real Otaku, trying to get him to punch in. Water cannon comes out. Real Otaku was just waiting there. So yeah, this is already looking a little bit dangerous.
Yeah,
well, more than a little bit.
Yeah, this is really nice timing from Real Taku. I think it can be hard to measure when the core is going to come out of the water cannon. I'm not sure if it was calculated or if they just went for it, but great timing regardless. And Larry just great piercing shot. Sandy trying to make his newfound size work, and he does, but Wolfdrifter also equally as large. And now Real Taku once again 1v1 with Gron Punch, and now this time he is able to walk up and smash it in.
Yeah, that was honestly just very good timing. Just the Rose Warp, and Grom tried to like clear it out, and Real Otaku was just like, nah, I'm reading you, but I'm reading you, I got you. So right now we're already on match point. The barrier is taken for the side of Throwing Hard, and they do manage to punch it in. So a little bit of the signs of life. They are trying not to go gently into this good night.
Yeah, I mean,
they can make something happen from it.
Grom makes it happen. I think it was the same situation actually. They were down, it was a match point, and Grom kind of comes in from the back street and gets what the team needs, which is a goal. But this time, Real Taku and Larry both have a flip, and they're just gonna make it happen. Wow. And there we go, a quick 3-1 on final set for Force of Will, and huge plays for Force of Will, getting the break that they desperately needed to get into top 3.
Yeah, just a bit of a refresher game for Force of Will. Very nice, just had everything online, everything firing on all cylinders. Not really a whole lot more to say about that one. I feel like Throwing Hard was not able to kind of hit beyond first gear, you know what I mean? Like you were saying, like ZZ's was just not able to get those kicks up and running, and yeah.
Yeah, it was really rough for them. I think Inky's was their map choice as well, because they were on red team, which makes it extra bad. I mean, I want to say it's honestly Force of Will's map pick, even, because I wouldn't be surprised, because if you look at even the starting awakenings, right, the midfield is the most important role in Inky's, and Larry took Mag Souls. And in an open map, I know Slicks is really good right now, but in an open map, Mags, especially on marksman characters, it can be easier to pilot. It can be a lot better. As you saw, like ZZ's constantly getting pushed off the core, finding it hard to position off the core when she's not dribbling, and it's just really rough. And Larry just able to be there, be a turret for Real Otaku. And we talked about X. X is gonna be good if he's able to find that position where he can just stand on top of the goalie time and time again. It's gonna work even better than Kazan or Rasmus, and he did. It was able to happen because Larry just took over the midfield with those mags and just delivered the ball over and
Yeah.
over again. So great deserved
I,
win from Porterville.
yeah, I just real quick before we move on, I do want to say like I also think like the reason why I think Force of Will, though this might have been their map pick, I know I've seen them like they've been training on it. They've been working at it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they decided like let's throw them a curveball. We know that like we've been practicing on this map. Let's give them something they may not be ready for. So
Yeah,
we're gonna. So who knows? We're gonna see. But we are going to go yet again to another break while we get this next match ready and set. Good work again though from Force of Will. Yes.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. We are in the home stretch. We got two more matches to watch, and our first one's going to be a really important one for the
Mhm.
future of Squeak and Squeakers and Chikara Patters, because those are two teams here. Squeak and Squeakers 1-2 down, but not out. If they go perfect, if they go 2-0 in the upcoming matches, they have a chance at being top three here. And Chikara Patters, obviously, they're looking dominant 3-0 here, but I cannot stress this enough. It's so important, guys, to be the first seed because in the day two, because you get one less game. That's one less best of three you have to play. That's one less long drawn out games you might have to deal with. And it's so important for teams. And that's why Chikara Patters needs to win this and hopefully the next so that they can secure their first seed status. But it's gonna be an obscura match, I believe. And P Flare, this is really exciting. How do you feel about the futures of these teams?
It's going to be very, very, very interesting. Squeaking Squeakers, like you said, they kind of have to play perfect. They have to play absolute lights out. They have to kind of realize that their back's against the wall. And you want to say like Squeaking Squeakers. There is a phrase there is a saying that I am reminded of here. The cornered rat will bite the cat. So they have to come out biting in this one and biting hard because like Carpatters, as like you said, has been dominant for this whole series, and there's no real signs of them stopping. So Squeak and Squeakers has to make them flinch. It has to make them jump. And while the question of how they're going to do that is still up in the air, it's still a question that is worth posing.
Yeah, I think it's a doable, right? Anything can happen in OSAS. Miracles happen.
Yeah.
And I think Chicken Tendies is a really good midfield. I think Jiggle Supreme's a good goalie. Hop the Frog's a good brawler. It's just gonna come down to coordination and what they're looking to do because I want to say Ghost and Yabba Gabba on the Patters. I feel like I recognize these names. I feel like they've been pretty big threats in OSAS before. So the fact that these two are here and playing top seed is signs that things are going great. Things are going great here. So if they can continue the momentum here, that's going to be really good. So we see Juliet Aimee pick coming out for Yabba Gabba and Ghost, and we see Hop the Frog and Chicken Tandy's answer with Asher Estelle.
Yeah, not exactly shall we say surprising, but yeah, this I feel like is a match, a setup that can absolutely. Here's the thing, on paper, you look at the two teams, and I do personally feel like Squeakers has a more than like capable team combo that can like carry them to victory. It's just a big matter of the players themselves being able to push us through. Like you said, coordination. It's going to be a lot of coordination. That is a honestly good good opening move, just managing to get that kill. But they need to make something happen out of this power play, and no, they actually get kind of like reverse power play there. So, eh.
Yeah, that hurts. Yeah, that hurts for sure. And Ghost is gonna get their dash punch back soon. And Jiggle Supreme tries to play fancy with the portals, but unfortunately is the one who lost out on that play. And right now, it looks like the Patters looking a little more controlled. But one thing is that is the saving grace is that Jiggle Supreme is playing really well around the corners, and it's playing. Ghost really wants to play that corner, and Jewel Supreme just like takes advantage of that and just duper rolls on top. They are gonna get that second barrier off the back clear from Jewel Supreme though, and that's something you cannot do if you want to win OSAS or at least get to the finals. And Hop the Frog, nice stun on the Mako, a little too far away though, and Starfish gets it out. They're passing it around. Mako secondary coming in uninterrupted, but Hop gets a dribble, gets a second dribble, and now they're going to look to pass the Chicken Tendies through the portal though, and that's another one. But Jiggle Supreme's roll, the Summer Assault is on point. The strike shot though, and Ghost gets it in. And 1-0, and I think P-Flare, I think the red team looks a little more ready on Gates of Obscura.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like what happened was Hop the Frog was just trying to get a little bit too like stylish, was trying to like this is just speculation. I feel like that was meant to be like a dribble, and it just the hitbox for the portal was just a little bit wider than expected. And yeah, they are taking advantage of that super well, our Chikara batters.
Yeah, trading ults there and losing out, nothing to show. That's a really rough situation from Jiggle Supreme. I will say though, in terms of team comp, we touched on it a little bit earlier. I do really like you said, there's all the ingredients that they need here. Does Squeak and Squeakers because Asher just rolls their face on Mako. Mako can't really do anything, but that's if Hop the Frog can ever get the ball, because otherwise this twin drive. Not twin drive, sorry, the secondary from Mako, the marching drums, is gonna do a lot. Ghost just waiting for the cooldown, even can strike it around, of course travels a little too far. Great roll from Jiggle Supreme. Chicken Teddy's trying to clear it out, waits out the last hit of the Ivy turret, the secondary comes out, and now we see Hop the Frog finally with the access, but no, the core slips through the portal, and Hop the Frog is trapped into the Mako cage, and now the Tofu Fortress has to be burned, but Ghost does have a dash punch now, potentially, and not even needed. Just so much speed from the Mako secondary. The marching orders are given, and the goal is in.
Yeah, that core was just going everywhere in just a very short amount of time. Jiggle Supreme did their absolute best to try and save that one, but that core was going like in 3 different directions, all in the space of like half a second. That's just hard to deal with, and bulk up isn't going to make things any easier on them. These are some scary opening awakenings, like for the side of Squeak and Squeakers. I mean, Chikara Patters is looking really good already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, bulk up going to Juliet. I think really nice though is that because Ghost kind of dominated, just ran all over Squeak and Squeakers that game, Jiggle Supreme and Chicken Tendies on the defense actually got the 2-3 draft here, and they were able to deny Mako of both the explosive entrance and the missile propulsion. So that's really nice. Mako didn't get exactly what he wanted. I mean, Primetime is still really good, don't get me wrong, but again, Asher kind of rolls their face on the keyboard, gets it through Mako any way they can, and they're trying to buy time for Chicken Tendies to come out, and they do. Portal coming out, but unfortunately, Chicken Tendies not in position, but Yaba Gaba is, and this is looking really scary. Hop going in, but the Mako strike shot coming out, and Jiggle Supreme once again having to be a 2v1. Ghost passes it up to Yaba Gaba, which buys time, but now Mako secondary coming out. Starfish gets it through, and now once again Jiggle Supreme is playing the portal finally this time, and the Ivy turret is forced to come out. Chicken Tendies is gonna lose the core though. Yaba Gaba, great angle found, but Ghost just finds an answer, and Yaba Gaba, nice dash, nice positioning, and the momentum doesn't stop.
That was just absolutely vicious, especially like at the very end there. It was like, oh, they didn't get the demon angle back in, and Yaba Gaba was just like, no, we're good. Just knock it in. Like, I don't want to even call that planned, but just very, very amazing adaptability. And it's already been like a very rough game for Squeak and Squeakers. They do manage to get these barriers down, but it is, I was about to say, almost immediately like answered. I have to say, I don't feel like Squeak and Squeakers have been playing the portal game very well. I know they've absolutely been trying to, but it feels like every time they try and go to those portals, Chikara Patters just kind of like calls him out immediately and was like, hey, thanks for like the free offense.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there is like a difference in understanding in the map. That's why I do think this is the red team's map. They probably chose this because they look a lot more composed. They know where to put Yaba Gaba, as opposed to Chicken Tendies, who's not really playing on the portal side, but doesn't matter. Hop the Frog with the Dubu Tofu Fortress at his back, just gets to equalize the score here.
Yeah, very much needed for this one. Had to burn like the flip, had to burn a couple of, had to burn their specials, but at this point you kind of do whatever it takes to get you back in the game at least a little bit. Do whatever it takes to make the other team like think, oh, like, oh, crud. Even if it's just that one moment of anything that makes them mentally flinch.
Yeah, absolutely. Hop the Frog just wants to get the cooldowns going so they can get it into Starfishing. That's what I mean exactly. Asher just beating Mako handedly and wins the strike war as well. Hop the Frog playing out his mind right now. And Chicken Tendies finally there. Mags activated. And Core going every which way. Ghost trying to go through Jiggle Supreme, respecting. And that turns out to be potentially game winning as Hop the Frog takes the lead. Squeak and Squeakers finally in a good position here on the second set.
Very much. You notice that Jiggle Supreme had the patience to wait, trying to see if like they were going to do anything, and did manage to like I said, like get that strike war going down, and Hop the Frog, Chicken Tendies had to kind of like combo it, but they made it work, and they got the score. So it is on them now to kind of ride this and hopefully get this set going. one barrier down on their side, though. Nice deflection. And they do manage to keep that second barrier for now. Beautiful defense.
I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. Great Rose Warp as well. Jewel Supreme in the right place. Pearl's going to come back, though, and he doesn't stray too far. That is great. Quadrant's Duke is so huge. Chicken Tendy's almost with full energy. Doesn't want to lose it to Ghost, though. He's got to watch out for the Dash Punch. Hop the Frog is waiting for his primary to come back, but unfortunately, Core slips through before Law coming out from Jewel Supreme, though, and midfield controlled by Chicken Tendy's right now. Yabba Gabba took Max, so they don't have speed if the Core is in that position. Hop the Frog's getting beat up, though, but Ghost is looking really low. Hop the Frog has to respect this, but doesn't and dies. Unfortunately, wasn't able to press elusive, and now the momentum win taken out of their sails. Turret coming down. Jewel Supreme has the core flip and makes it, but unfortunate angle. Oh no, that's so tragic for Squeak and Squeaker.
Tried to ricochet it. Yeah, no, that's tragic. Absolutely. Tried to ricochet it. Ghost was just ready for it, and was ready for the bad bounce. Immediately reacted. Just that's a rough one to lose. And you can see that like Jiggle Supreme is like going up a lot, and at this point you can kind of see why they kind of want that three-man offense a lot of the time, and you know, like at this rate you can see why they need it. Very nice, blew him out though with that Tofu Fortress, and it is going to be on them to try and like make something happen of this one. They do actually manage to get that second barrier, so trying to push up and nothing. They may miss the clear.
It was good. It was good until the second barrier. It was good until the second barrier, and honestly, and then that's what you can have for Hop the Frog. Nice and on the Mako, and nice kill with Chicken Tendies. Respects Ghost again. Dash punch a little bit. Now playing it around. Nice pass back and forth. Hop the Frog has the core flip. They want to avoid this, but unfortunately that means you have to deal with the Crystal Thorns. And now Squeak and Squeakers, let's see what they get as the reward.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, just very nice on their part. Chicken Tendies just like played it basic, smooth, simple. Was like, okay, just waiting for you to strike so I can throw my thorns out, and did, and managed to secure that set. Very nice. Demolition is coming out. That's gonna make it a lot easier for like those face rolls. And yeah, I'm thinking this. I'm not gonna say this is like a complete reversal, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not saying like Squeaky Squeaky is like, oh, all of a sudden they're super ahead, but this is definitely going to help them. Though that's not to say Chikara Patterns does not look scary with these awakenings.
Oh, they look so scary with these awakenings. I mean, Yabba Gabba has been great on the passing plays, and the fact that they got team player is huge. I'm a team player fan, and Ghost getting 1-2 is going to be really scary. They can get a lot of kills even with Slick's Julie here. But I think one good thing is that Chicken Tendies has been really playing this portal. They've really locked into that groove as well did Jiggle Supreme here, and now Squeak and Squeakers have a really good fighting chance. Like you said, they have the better comp, I think. Like Jewel Supreme walks up, lands the Tofu Fortress with the Missile Pro. There's nothing Starfish can do. All the cage, all the primaries, all the secondaries, doesn't matter, and you're seeing this. You're seeing just the log walk up, just such a threat to Mako. Jewel Supreme now rolling the log through. It is looking pretty good here, but Yabba Gabba coming in with the Cyber Swipe, and the turret comes down. The core gets through. Oh, Ghost is there, using the Flame Flurry, unfortunately, unable to find the angle. Portal through, right to Hop the Frog. Nice primary, but Starfish is there, and Starfish has a core flip, so this could be really scary because the portal can just change defense into offense just like that. Ghost coming in, Torches comes out. Nice glitch pop, but Jiggle answers with the log. Jiggle looks so locked in right now. Great clear, but the core flip is going to seal the deal.
Yeah, core flip across the world. Jiggle Supreme just not close enough, not able to respond to that one. Very hard fought first round, first point, but they do manage to get it. Do Chikara Patterns.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this point has been getting longer and longer, and I think that's really great. This has been a really fun game to watch. And now Chicken Tendies, Jewel Supreme actually playing like a more midfielder position there as the Chicken Tendies plays the goalie position, but they might have to switch because Chicken Tendies Hop the Frog though. Oh my gosh, the flip unable to work. Jewel Supreme dashes for it, but not happening. They might have to burn a second core flip here, and it's gonna look really scary. Jewel Supreme burns it a little too late, and now they are in panic mode. They gotta watch out. Hop the Frog almost gets a kill on Starfish, and what a kill that would have been. Chicken Tendies great play on the portals though, but Ghost is here. Ghost doesn't have dash punch quite yet. A great primary, but equally great strike shot, forcing the log out, and Ghost with that speed from the Mako. 2-0 lead. How is this happening? Chikara Patters.
Yeah, it's just been a bit of a rough one for him for like this set. They Squeakers has I'll be perfectly honest. I think they've been playing very well, especially surprisingly well with the KOs. But Chikara Patter's defense has been very rough to get around. They've managed to do it at times, like you can see now, but it usually takes them throwing everything at them, like just a complete morass, everything plus the kitchen sink to get past them. Which, again, it does manage to work, but that's a lot of resources devoted to like singular points, and that bill is eventually gonna come due if they have to keep relying on that.
Hop the Frog body blocking Starfish, making sure that the Mako can't just primary and create value, and Hop the Frog finally getting his hands on the core, and that's all he needs. That's all Squeakers need. They really have a fighting chance here.
Yeah, and that's what they need to continue to try and do that, and it's gonna be rough. You can see like Gabba Gabba has a flip. All three of them are starting to have like flips. Very nice though to basically trade barriers on that front. They will be like using every resource they have to fight for this one. We said it earlier. Squeakers has a lot to play for this one, so they have to be careful about it. Unfortunately, Tofu Fortress again kind of like betrayed them on that. The rebound does cause some issues. Chicken Tendies though finds a snipe, nails it.
Oh,
barrier. We need to see if they can handle this, if they can finish this point off.
Oh, I love how Chicken Tendies didn't go for the portal. Like, they might have been conditioned to do so. Hop the Frog going in. Primary comes out. Jewel Spring is able to get there, though. And Chicken Tendies almost has full energy. And, oh, doesn't even need it. And now, suddenly, 2 flips on the side of Squeakers on the third set.
Yeah, Squeakers is really battling this out. And so far, like I said, I've been pretty impressed with how they've been playing. Just been able to like find a lot of these maneuvers when they really count. Although I don't like that they ended up having like accidentally like burning that flip. That's a bit unfortunate. They do manage to get the barrier though. Let's see if they can finish this point off.
Yeah, case of the nerves there. Unfortunately, burning resource they don't need to. Chicken Tendy's really aware of the Rose Warp. Great defensive one because that was going in if it got there. Great roll from Jewel Supreme. The portal play coming out. Just going through the portal, but Rapid Gap is going to get there first, Chicken. Watch out. And now Ghost is there. Oh, loses Strike War, and that's critical, but Jiggle saves it, wins the 2v1 Strike War, and that's going through the portal. Yabba Gabba's there, but the missile propulsion comes out, and now they're going to hold a little bit more. They're alive. Squeakers are alive, but we see all of Chikara Patter's offense coming out here. Goes through the portal once again, but a great roll from Jiggle Supreme. Hop trying to get the stun, but that's not what he wants right now, and Jiggle Supreme unfortunately can't save them all.
Just that was just speed. Had the right call, knew it was coming. Just red core, red core
on a Paladin's Dubu. It's a slow world, but it's really rough here because once the gates open, it's gonna be really hard for Paladin's Dubu to save it. And now Timeless Creator Aimi coming out, but this does mean Dubu can get Siege Machine Monumentalist they want, or built different here. Opts for Siege Machine though. Julie getting built different might be a little scary, but interesting on the Mako. I guess they really scared of Hop here, getting something, but Hop gets Berserker, and that's how it rolls. How do you feel about these drafts? Do you think anyone won?
I'm actually gonna lean towards Chikara Patterns just for built difference, for the and for the Timeless Creator. That's really kind of like the big things for me. Although Rampage also very good. I think they kind of took that one.
Yeah, they're kind of running away with it here. I mean, Jewel Supreme got Siege Machine, which is okay. Like, it's in the offense situation, it's gonna work out, it's gonna pan out. But the fact that Aimi has a turret now, they have so much staying power to compete with the defensive dual Fortress. But Chicken Tendy's great aware Rose Warp, and now the Asher is wreaking havoc on the back line. Great uppers dribble. Jewel Supreme not quite there. But Hop the Frog is gonna win the Strike War against Gabba Gabba and Starfish. I mean, just the amount of power that this Asher is having I mean, Berserker isn't even proc, but that's just crazy. Yabba Gabba does have the core flip though, and you have to watch out. Ghost is just trying to save it with his life. The portal just comes through, kind of mixing up Joel Supreme there, and now portal play coming out with Hop the Frog. Hop doesn't have the cooldowns quite yet. Starfish almost taken off the map a second time, but it's happening. And oh wow, that Whistle Probe plus Siege Machine Dubu is crazy, but does lose the Strike Ward here to Ghost. Ghost is gonna flip it in, and now we're at match point.
That was just a rough situation. I'm kind of like speechless with how Chikara Patterns has been playing. Squeak and Squeakers has been like fighting for, Squeak and Squeakers has made them fight for every point, has made them sweat and bleed for it. But so far, it has been Chikara Patterns that has been managing to take these. A lot of it, I feel, is coming through due to like the portal play. I feel like Squeak and Squeakers kind of have gone to that well once a little bit too much, and Chikara Patterns have been quick to recognize it. So they just kind of like are ready to counter like any kind of like portal shenanigans that Squeak and Squeakers have been trying. I feel like they've actually had almost more success when they just get stopped like with the portal play and just play a game, you know?
Yeah, they're trying to rotate it through. Oh, I think Jules Supreme was positioned for a pass, but that's not happening. Oh, but he gets there in time. They need to make this power play work because Starfish is coming down in 1 second, but another power play from Hop the Frog, and now Signs of Life from Squeak and Squeakers. I mean, they're here. They're here to play.
Yeah, they are still in it. Like I said, they have been making Scar Patterns kind of like sweat and bleed for every point they've given. So I don't think it's anywhere near like just done and dusted, but it has been kind of like rough for them, especially just because I feel like Chikara Patterns has taken advantage of like a lot of shall we say like issues on their side. Oh, that could have been beautiful, but just Hop the Frog was not ready for it.
That's so rough. Ghost has core flip and Dubu's so slow. They can't lose a barrier if they want to play like this, but oh, nice! Chicken Tendies reads the clear from Starfish, and now 2-2, back again.
Yep, they have managed to continue to show signs of life here, and right now, this is basically it. See if a bit of a live or die situation right here. You can see Yabba Gabba, Ghost both have 4 sticks of butter, both are ready to pop flips. I was about to say Hop the Frog had a flip as well, but everybody just kind of like burning them in wanting to end this. Now Starfish is the only one with a flip left on the defense. Meanwhile, Ghost and Yabba Gabba and Chicken Tendies, everybody looking surprisingly low. Everybody's just throwing everything out now, but it is Ghost that finishes things up. Just like Dash Punch, Jiggle Supreme not able to save it, and yeah, it is Chikara Patterns that take it 3-1.
Jiggle Supreme giveth, Jiggle Supreme taketh. Unfortunately, I do think that does lock in top 3 here, but Squeaks and Squeakers, that was a great fight. I want to give a lot of props, especially to Chicken Tendies, who've been confirming kills for days on the gates. And then Jewel Supreme, I know it's been rough, but he held masterfully until he didn't. That was just crazy. On the other side, like, you see Hop the Frog just be so effective with the Asher offense that Yabba Gabba and Starfish just get locked up in that corner on their side. Like, there's 30 and 47 saves. This isn't because they're just passing between each other, and the goal is just that they're just kind of stacked together, because every time Asher sends in a shield, a path splitter, or the primary, they just kind of get hit together, and there's so much damage that Chicken Tendies happily finished off. But when I say this, I make it sound like Squeak and Squeakers won, but extra props here to Chikara Patterns, because that was just wonderful plays from Ghost, from Yabba Gabba, even though they were on the back foot on defense, because it's just how the comp works. Like, it's Dubu, Asher, it's Hiramako, you can't really do much. They made it count on offense every single time against Jiggle Supreme, who's been holding really well, who was really locked in that game. So really good from Chikara Patterns. Unfortunately, this does mean, I think, that our top 3 is locked in as we go to our final game.
Yeah, no, I think that does in fact settle the matter, so to speak. Top 3 being Chikara Patterns, Force of Will, La Critura. So more like Patters, La Creature, or Force of Will. Point is, your top three is set, done, and dusted as we head on to our last one. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be here to enjoy it, however. We will be after just a moment.